Relating slope and y-intercept to linear equations, lesson 7 notes. Example number 3. I'll do A and B in one video and C and D in another video. So let's start with A. Okay, so we're going to be taking these graphs and we're going to be writing equations. We're going to write them in slope-intercept form, which is this right up here at the top. So we're going to put them in y equals mx plus b form. And in order to do that, again, we must find the slope and the y-intercept first. We must find the slope and the y-intercept first. So, looking at A, I picked 2 points on the graph. Why did I pick this point right there? Well, I picked that point right there because that's where the line crosses the y-axis. That is the point where the line crosses the y-axis. And if that's where the graph crosses the y-axis, then that is our y-intercept. So this right here is our y-intercept. From now on, I'm going to be putting the b and not writing out y-intercept. So in other words, in this case, b equals 1, 2. b equals 2. So I'm going to come down here, and beside the b, I'm going to put a 2. Slope, we're going to use rise over run. For slope, we're going to use rise over run. So we're going to use this right here. Go ahead and write that down. We're going to use rise over run. Okay, so the first thing, you pick 2 points. And make sure when you pick a point, it's the point where two grid lines intersect. And I would pick 2 points that are closest to one another. So you could have picked this point here, or I could have picked a point down here, right there, either one. But I went for that point up there. All right, so I'm going to find my rise first. Going from left to right, my line goes upward. So I need to go upward first. Going from left to right, my line goes upward. I like to do things like this sometimes. Let me get it on the grid line. There we go. So what is my rise? My rise would be 1, 2, 3. My rise is 3. This would be my run. My run is 1, 2. Go ahead and put rise and put run. Obviously, if this is your homework, you would not have to write out the words rise or the words run. But for the notes, I want you to write that out. So 3 is the rise, 2 is the run. Again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So my slope is 3 over 2. So now that I have my slope, which is 3 over 2, and I have my y-intercept, which is 2, I can write my equation. Remember, y equals mx plus b. So m goes in front of the x. So 3 over 2 x. Again, the x goes in the middle. It doesn't go down beside the 2, doesn't go up by the 3, it goes in the middle. So 3 halves x, and then the b goes at the end. So it is a 2. Well, since it's a positive 2, I would put a plus sign in between. So my equation for this line is y equals 3 halves x plus 2. The slope is 3 over 2. The y-intercept is 2. And that is it for A. We're going to go through. We're going to do the same thing with B. You'll notice I already put 3 points on. Don't put all 3 points. I just wanted to show you something. We are going to start by talking about this point here in the middle. that point in the middle is where the line crosses the y-axis. Again, so this point right here is where the line crosses the y-axis. So in other words, B equals, well, where is that crossing the y-axis? It's going through the origin, and the origin is 0. So down here, B equals 0. Now, the reason why I put 2 points on here is because I'm going to show you it doesn't matter which point you pick, you're going to get the same slope no matter what. So you can decide if you want to use these 2 points or if you want to use those 2 points. I'm going to do it both ways. Now, this line is going downward. It's going downward. Remember, you always go from the left to the right, and you always go up or down first. So to go from this point to this point down here, I go down and to the right. So I go down 1, and then I go to the right 3. I go down 1 and to the right 1, 2, 3. Now, going down 1 means that this will be a -1. Now notice if I take these 2 lines here, copied and pasted them, don't I get this exact same thing right there? Sure do. Down 1 over 3. So it doesn't matter which 2 points you pick. I would pick the 2 closest points and then simplify the fraction. So again, I'm going to show you this is down 1, oops, over 3, and then over 3. So pick one of the 2 and go with it. All right. I'm going to erase those and erase that. I want you to write rise and run. So my rise is -1, and my run is 3. So this equation would be y equals -1/3 x. I'm going to put the negative out front. If you kept it up with the 1, that's fine. And then plus 0 at the end. But we don't need the plus 0. So circle that at the end. Put don't need 0. So our final answer to this problem would be y equals -1/3 x. Again, y equals -1/3 x. All right, make sure you pause your video and write everything down. If I wrote it down, you need to write it down, including the don't need 0 part, okay? Write everything down. If you have any questions on example 3, problems A and B, please let me know.